Alright, figured out why I wasn't working. This weird little red thing, whatever this is, tells you where the playback is going to stop, so if you expand that, it's going to go ahead and let you actually play the animation. But anywho, so getting this... Oh my god, what am I doing? Stop. Okay, sorry. So getting this ready to actually... Let me just actually... Okay, I muted my camera, and I was like, if I just did 2 videos without having that muted, I would cry. So what we need to do, you can see it's flashing this lighting very grumpily. I'm going to turn this camera off. Nope, wait, buttons. There we go. I'm going to turn this camera off so I can go back to my perspective view. You can see it's flashing this lighting needs to be rebuilt. So there is this build button up here, and this goes through a bunch of random stuff. I think if you were doing a game, this is like what it would do to build that. So you can select some options up here, like what kind of lighting quality you want. So I'll set that to the highest production level quality. There's also some other stuff, which honestly I've not super looked into. You can build only the lighting. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and build everything because, frankly, I've not super looked into the settings, and I know that if I build everything, it will have everything I need. So I'm just like, it seems like a safe option. It also doesn't super take forever. It's flashing this error. You see, the light baking usually takes a tiny bit longer. So I'll do this in the corner, and it'll just get rid of this this notification here once it is done building the lighting. So, wait for it. Still waiting. Woo, 97%, 98. Okay, cool. So that should theoretically go away, but we know the light. Okay, it's processing again. Building is... I was gonna say it's like rendering. It's not at all like rendering, but it's a thing. It can take some time. So just be aware of that. I guess when you're starting, especially if I had more stuff in my scene, it would take longer. I remember for senior project we were working on a game, and that was in Unity, but it took like several hours to bake the light mapping for the scene. So that, again, if you have like a bunch of lights and stuff, that can totally take a while. Cool. I'm going to ignore all of these random errors and just kind of go ahead. Ooh, wow, my lighting got real bad. Incidentally, that's why it's a good idea to test your lighting and build it every once in a while. I'm just going to run with this, frankly, because this is not at all important of the project. That's basically like the rendering. You'll notice also sort of... No, I lied. Actually, no, I didn't, sorry. You notice it stopped doing the thing, at least not as aggressively, where like if you zoom in, it'll brighten the entire scene. It's doing it a little bit, but not as much, and I think that might sort of be because of the baking, but again, I could be wrong. So anywho, to actually export this, what we're going to do is come over here to this camera cuts little thing in our sequencer, and I believe that there's a way to add these, but it seems it's been creating them for me by default. But what you want to do is add your camera in there, and it should come in and show you the whole scene up to wherever you want to sort of expand that. I'm also going to right-click in this and rename it Render Cam. Alright, so if you're in your perspective view, it's going to go through perspective view up here and show you what your sort of render cam looks like, so you can see that. Wow, these camera movements are terrible. But I have such nostalgia for the Sac. So it's going to show you what those cameras look like, and then to export this, all you should need to do is hit this little render clappy button thing, select... It'll export straight to movies, so don't forget, don't submit AVIs if you're a student. Also, you should be compressing these in like Media Encoder afterwards. But I'm just going to export this directly to a video file AVI. I have no audio, so I don't care about that. I can set these to be different settings if I need to. And then I'm just going to leave it. It'll export slightly faster, brush quality, etc. You can select where you want your files to go as per most exporting settings. Alright, so, sorry. So I'm just going to save this randomly on my desktop like a crazy person. I'm going to name this file tutorial, but I'm going to spell it like an idiot. And then there's some other random settings you can choose. If you wanted to, you know, make custom start frames and stuff like that, you could do that. In this case, I'm just going to kind of leave that. We're going to go ahead and capture the movie. And it did this before, where it was getting grumpy when I was trying to save it on... directly to my desktop. Then when I picked a file, it was fine, so I did save selected, and it should... Ow, my eyeball! My eyeball! Sorry. It should give you a preview of what your video is doing. Ow. Got an eyelash. In this case, it seems like the camera might be a tiny bit off. So I would just sort of go through and double check that until it looked correct. But you can see it is, you know, going through and doing the animation. It actually goes through by default, and we'll usually add like a little bit of motion blur in there, it seems. You see it particularly when the sack is moving kind of faster. But that is basically exporting in Unity. I might do some follow-ups about like how to better optimize stuff like your lighting and overall pipeline, but that should be enough to at least get you into Unreal and, you know, set up some textures, set up some lighting that hopefully doesn't look completely appalling, and then like export something. I thought that was done. Okay. Why my camera just went in the ceiling, I don't know, but probably some dumb thing that I did. Alright, so I'm going to open the capture video. I don't remember what I named this. I think it was, yes, Tortorella. And here we have our video. And, cool. So I forgot in the last 30 minutes, but apparently that little preview only shows you like the upper corner of the screen. So here we have our nice, very quickly rendered video. Apart from the fact that the lighting looks pretty bad, because I set it up terribly, it does look pretty good. Especially for such a quick render. So, that is the uber weird basic intro to Unreal. Yeah.